Hello guys, welcome to round 32nd in face-to-face season 4. One of the biggest challenging tournaments in Soulstorm. Played 11 to 12 years ago. Some people told me that the skill level is actually drastically lower in these older games. To some degree I will have to agree with that. But you also have to consider that back then the players had like 1-2 years of experience in Dawn of War Soulstorm, as compared to now when some players are playing for over 11 years. So yeah, of course, the builds probably were worse, players didn't have as much experience, so it's expected that older games would be lower in skill. Not necessarily all the games though, but most of the games I would say that the skill was lower indeed. So round 32. Game 1, let's get started, but before we do that, round 31, for those who didn't watch it, was played between VelAn and Vampire, Imperial Guard versus Necrons. Well, since VelAn advanced to the next round, he obviously won. Only 2 games were played in the previous round, so VelAn won 2-0. After that, Vampire refused to play. He certainly had a bad day.
Scouts reporting for duty.
Some weird mistakes in there. So in the round 32, mixalich gets picked and chosen by the community to play against VelAn. VelAn back then, again, one of the top Imperial Guard players. He's been playing since Winter Assault, I believe, with Imperial Guard. Fair to say though that in Soulstorm many players became kinda inactive back then. There was this dying hope that Dawn of War is dead. And many players transitioned to Dawn of War 2 also during that time, 2009, 2010. And that inactivity, rustiness sometimes made players look like they are bad. In their top shape though, I think they could have shown very good games. So what mixalich is doing here? 4 scouts from mixalich, yeah. This build is old as world. I guess it's used since Dawn of War Vanilla by Servant and I Know Fear. Those guys were playing since Dawn of War Vanilla, right?
Here to serve. Scouts ready. Defending objective. Scouts here.
What would you have me do?
Force Commander out and Space Marines now on the way. Mixalich took his points, doing some damage here on the Tech Priest with his Force Commander. And what's up for VelAn? 3 guardsmen. Experienced Imperial Guard players would go 3 guardsmen most of the time, no matter the matchup or the map.
As you wish, so shall it be done.
Sir, yes, sir.
It allows for faster map control. You always have 1 additional squad to get in the fight if anything happens. Good harass by the Space Marine in here. Scouts and Force Commander did not allow VelAn to finish up this LP yet.
Scouts ready.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
Yes, my lord. Scouts in position. At your command.
What would you have me do?
Scouts awaiting orders. Scouts awaiting orders.
Day shall be a
At your command.
Below half HP now on the Force Commander, VelAn doing a good job with his command squad, trying to keep it alive and in good shape for fights. None of those members are ready yet. Tanks some more HP with a Psyker. Force Commander almost dead now. And now there are enough guardsmen here to stop this aggression from the Space Marine player. The relic gets captured.
Sir, yes, sir.
The enemy is attacking.
I await your instructions.
We stand ready.
The commissar is here. Did VelAn use the strip soul, though? I don't really notice. Look how all of the command squad members are nicely balanced on HP. I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or maybe intended. Something VelAn did with controlling the squad. Perhaps. Economy slightly higher for Mixalich, will get plus 13 common power soon. Armory is up, plasma pistol research, frag grenades. Only 2 squads of Space Marines though, and almost dead Force Commander.
Inspire our men.
I am on it.
VelAn adding 1 more generator, upgrading some L2s. Okay, Psyker dies finally. Nice frag grenade into the guardsmen. Drops the morale and kills plenty of them. Doing that on the Force Commander now not worth it. Not enough HP on the command squad to deal with him. Maybe the strip soul will work. And I'm not sure if VelAn can stop this without tactical control. Well, if the Force Commander dies, he can, certainly. Come on, cast that strip soul. Mixalich doesn't look, does not react, and the Force Commander dies. Now that's a bad engagement here, he wanted to finish off that Psyker. And goes under the LP2 with a Tech Priest inside. Tanks with his Bionic research. Not a big deal, that Bionic, it only adds like a low amount of HP to each member. When you have both upgrades it's okay, when you have only the first one it's almost unnoticeable.
It is my duty to serve.
Victory countdown has begun.
It is my duty to serve. If such is the Emperor's will.
70% up, almost tier 2 for VelAn. He's being patient in there,
Command.
playing defensively under the LP2s. No need to add tactical control to deal with the Space Marine mass. Only 2 squads though, and no Force Commander.
Taking damage.
Mixalich will ignore the Force Commander and also go tier 2 now.
I await your instructions.
Also upgrade some listening posts, the 3rd one. And this will be the 2nd and this is the 3rd.
6 minutes until
Maybe
taking
too
hold
many
victory.
LP2 upgrades. Is it worth it? Adding Force Commander probably would be mandatory. You need some unit to tank the damage with Tier 2 guardsmen are no joke. They are about to get upgraded. We'll get armor first.
It will only take me a moment.
No heavy weapons yet, only armor and reinforcement for the start. And 2 priests. Commissar already there. And nice scanning here by VelAn. Sees that Mixalich is tier 2 and goes for the machine cult. Probably should expect a rhino.
5 minutes until take and hold victory.
Goes in now and will add the grenades on the guardsmen. No optics yet. Guardsman damage not so good without optics. Once you get the optics and heavy weapon upgrade, it's much higher. Almost doubles if not triples the damage. Okay. He saved that power for the mechanized command. We'll need a sentinel perhaps, or a few chimeras.
4 minutes until take and hold victory.
VelAn has to deal with that incoming rhino somehow, so mechanized command will be necessary. The rhino is here, and also a speeder is made, land speeder. Good stun on the rhino, will win VelAn sometime. Where is the sentinel though? Oh, here goes the float. Once the fight begins, the float starts. Two chimeras were ordered and the optics upgrade. Maybe VelAn got distracted, I don't know. But this float made VelAn look terrible. Again, too much float on requisition. Has to invest this somewhere. Maybe build more generator or try to build a big generator in here on the slag deposit. Big generator always good, especially for Imperial Guard. They can always use resources once they hit tier 3. They have that Earthshake ability on the basilisks. If you can use it wisely, Imperial Guard is a nightmare. Heavy weapon specialization being upgraded for the guardsmen. Two chimeras enough to carry all Imperial Guard infantry and deal with those mobile marines. They also have a rhino and assault marine squad with jump. Good harass from Mixalich. He is winning time now, nothing else. He can't win Imperial Guard in a fair fight. If he gets out and fights guardsmen now, he will lose, so he has to run away. LP2 here focusing the rhino. VelAn did not switch focus.
Scouts in position.
From here on, we march. I will walk.
Okay, only now the sentinel is out. Mixalich actually built a big generator here. the top left. It gets destroyed. Good economy for Imperial Guard, but needs upgrade on requisition. I guess he doesn't have it yet. Goes tier 3. Thanks to that big generator, Mixalich now can make some Hellfire Dreadnoughts. 2 Hellfire Dreadnoughts. Good map control from Mixalich, trying to take down points from Imperial Guard, and he succeeds for now. Some good harass. He can't win VelAn, as I've said, in a fair fight. So he has to counter harass somehow, catch him, kill his squads one by one if he can. With the coming of tier 3 and fanaticism, I'm not sure if Mixalich will be able to deal with that. Honestly, VelAn didn't even have to go tier 3. He had to add a few more sentinels and maybe one more squad of guardsmen. One more chimera and easily win the game. Sentinels can deal with the Hellfire Dreadnoughts, no problem. Tier 3 up, now fanaticism can be cast. So much float that VelAn now has enough to go even tier 4. He's barely playing and I guess he will still win this. Look at this float, 700 to 550. Mixalich still tier 2.5. VelAn simply does not lose his infantry, he doesn't even need to invest in something else. An empty rhino here. Slightly distracting VelAn. No-tech priest here got killed again. Good harass with assault marines, look at the float though. VelAn probably has to hit tier 4 button. War plays a second HQ or what? Looks like he can't deal with this harass. No multitask at all from VelAn. He's barely playing. Mixalich trying much harder. Doesn't really work out. Matchup is difficult for Space Marine. Once Imperial Guard hits tier 2.5, gets difficult for Space Marines. A Dreadnought in here, nice unit. Has to be stunned by the Psyker. Still no global upgrade on requisition or what? VelAn getting outplayed big time. He might even lose this or what? No, losing is impossible. Now that the Dreadnought is down, it's impossible to lose. Okay, first global upgrade on requisition now researched. Another Dreadnought. Another Sentinel to deal with it. Now this might be the final fight here. Also double global upgrade on for power. Imperial Guard's global upgrades are unfair. They are cheaper and they also provide higher bonuses to income. Unreasonable prices, they shouldn't be so cheap compared to other races. Or maybe if they are so cheap, they should provide the same amount of income. Same bonuses for the other races, not higher. 81 to 105 income now, and that's with VelAn 2 LP2s up, and without second global upgrade and requisition. It's being researched now. This listening post is not finished, this is not built, this is not captured. So basically this income for 2 points with upgraded LP2s plus 81. With a global upgrade, much higher. Still tier 2 for Space Marines. I guess Mixalich didn't even try, didn't even think of going tier 3. He doesn't have so much time. Maybe full Space Marine mass in tier 2.5 would work. But they have to outnumber Imperial Guard big time and also make lots of vehicles.
The enemy is attacking. The enemy is attacking.
2 Tempests were made. Got stuck in this Titan. Good usage of the Skull Probe allows the Tempest to kill a Sentinel. Second one might also go down. The melt-up bomb is cast, or was that a crack grenade? Probably a melt-up bomb. More skulls, more Tempests. Can't win now. VelAn deals with his floats as soon as the fight ends. When he is fighting, he's floating. When he's not fighting, he starts using his resources very quickly. He definitely knows what to do as an experienced Imperial Guard player. Knows where to invest his resources, no doubt. It's about more multitask though. When you get inactive and play other games, you get slow. Well, if you play Dawn of War 2, it's impossible to multitask in Dawn of War. Dawn of War 2 is basically a tactical RTS. No multitask required in there, just spam buttons on your keyboard, switch between squads and use abilities. It's about more tactics than speed and multitask, while Dawn of War 1 is much more competitive, I will say. Requires more effort to win a game here than in Dawn of War 2 or 3 or those other turn-by-turn RTS and stuff like that. Those games are too slow. Make you slower. So first game goes to VelAn. More resources for Mixalich, but only about 500 more resources. Actually no, about 200 more, but Mixalich used more requisition. VelAn floated much more. On power it was quite close. VelAn had advantage. He had both global upgrades in the end. Not a big advantage though, not a big deal. On technology, nothing to see here. These numbers are meaningless. Most of the time they make no sense, so probably not even worth looking there. Let's jump right into game 2. VelAn changed the race to chaos. Probably asked by referees. I'm not sure if that was his decision. A good chaos player should have chances against Space Marines.
Whatever you desire. We're here for the dark gods.
I guess chaos has some advantage. A very early game. Raptor harass can be painful. Cultists and Raptor harass against the scouts can be a pain for Space Marines.
We are chaos. Chaos.
And then tier 1.5 plasma pistols can be painful. But that's early game. Once Space Marines advance tier 2, tier 3,
Bless us,
chaos
Great One.
can't really do much.
We will serve you, and in return, grant us the power of the dark.
Chaos Marines were made, Chaos Lord on the way. No generator.
How can I serve?
Why didn't he go Raptors on Battle Marshes? On the top side, Mixalich opens with 4 scouts again,
Position
Force Commander, and also places a turret. Defend from harass.
secure.
Didn't have enough for a listening post. But we'll kill the cultists. Decap didn't even happen.
I command in the name
Poor
of the
VelAn.
Emperor.
What a fail. Wasted 90 requisition and economy time
Defending objective.
for nothing. Those cultists could have captured a point faster or maybe go on the relic and get it.
Enemies of the dark gods, beware!
Bad start from Chaos.
Our victory is assured. Anything for the great powers.
Yes, master.
How
The
can I
enemy is attacking.
serve?
Beware the alien, the mutant, the heretic. Space Marines attack!
Force Commander is here, he can deal easily with a squad of Chaos Marines. Where is the Chaos Lord though? Out of position, he had to be here and fight the Force Commander.
Yes, master.
Chaos Marines focusing the scouts. Maybe they can even die. No, won't happen. Why did Chaos Lord go in there for nothing? Can someone explain? Was that a misclick?
We're here to serve, Master.
Honestly, I don't think VelAn has a chance with Chaos. But let's see.
Serve. And in return, whatever you desire, grant us the power of the dark gods.
Judging by his early game and floats in the previous game, if he will not play his main, I wouldn't say he has any chances against Mixalich. Mixalich with his main race playing versus a barely active player, secondary race. Kinda unfair.
Is my shield.
Marine squad deployed. Fear denies faith.
Yes, Lord.
Praise the Emperor.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Yes, Lord.
74 to 0 economy here, generator placed for Mixalich.
The enemy
This
is
day shall
attacking.
be a glorious
2 squads of Space Marines out. And 3 scout squads still alive. VelAn's army is all over the map, badly split.
Yes, Lord.
Not sure what he is trying to do. Generator up, 68 to 10 economy, 350 float.
Bless us, great
No armory, no LP2s, no generators.
of the dark gods,
VelAn is floating instead. Okay, upgraded an LP2. Not sure if Chaos Army has any chances here against these Space Marines. Chaos Lord half HP down. Without upgrades in this fight, Chaos Marines don't have many chances. Even if they have a bit of a higher damage in range. I believe a bit of a higher damage, right? Or maybe not. It's identical damage. They only have higher damage in close combat. Force Commander full HP, Chaos Lord almost dead. Not sure about this scout move.
Meeting resistance! At your command!
Whatever you decide.
Again, float. Too much float from VelAn. Can't stop complaining about it. Pointing at it, it's a big deal. He had to build these generators a long time ago.
Anything for the great
They
power
had to
of
be
the
finished 1 minute ago, because he was floating all this time. For about 2 minutes he was floating.
Taking hits!
92 to 10 economy here for Michalich. Using his resources much faster. Makes assault marines, armor is already up, and makes plasma pistol for the force commander.
Yes, most beneficent one.
We're here for the dark gods.
Armory will be up soon for chaos as well.
Whatever you decide.
Should have used the forced labor on the heretic. No point waiting. Needs that armory ASAP.
We're here for the dark gods.
Needs frag grenades on the Chaos Marines, needs plasma pistol, maybe also swords for the aspiring champions. He will need all that. And will also need higher economy. Third LP2 getting upgraded.
Taking hits!
The Emperor.
Michalich ready for engagement. He's got most of the upgrades. Added the flamers on the Space Marines and will now stay in the light cover and destroy the LP2. VelAn will add the heavy bolters, a grave error to do that in tier 1. Usually you add the bolters once you have a Rhino. If you add the bolters on tier 1, they will delay everything on Chaos. 40 to 10 for one bolter, this is expensive. It might look cheap, but it's in fact very expensive. If you add 6 bolters, do the math and you will find out how much it costs. 60 power and 40 requisition also for each. 240, something like that, or what?
Mouths cry out in pain. Do you hear the voices too?
That's too expensive.
We need enemies. We must kill.
Bad engagement with this squad. Michalich was well positioned in the heavy cover. Now maybe the bolters will pay off slowly.
6 minutes until
The DPS from the bolters is good. If you actually manage to deal damage with them, maybe they will even pay off before you hit tier 2. VelAn now had enough for tier 2, but he
Anything for the great
decided to
power.
upgrade again that LP2.
here to lead you.
Michalich already tier 2 with full map control. Both critical locations captured. Gets the chaplain and will regenerate HP on the force commander soon.
We are taking fire!
Do not trifle with
We
me.
will serve you, and in return, grant us the power of the dark gods. Grant us the gifts of the chaos.
Sad
gods.
story for Chaos. Behind in everything. It's not even because he floated, but
Do you hear the voices too?
too many LP2s also in tier 1. He lost this and then upgraded it again. Then he also added the heavy bolters in tier 1. Very expensive. 240 requisition and 60 power for the bolters. I'm not sure if they paid off yet. It's not even after the Rhino you add them, but you have to also have the HP upgrade on the Chaos Marines before adding them. Those things have higher priority than bolters.
Sanity is for the weak.
In Dark Crusade I remember players actually loved adding bolters in tier 1 on Chaos Marines, thinking that is probably good, but it's not. If you do all-in rush, and if you want to end the game before tier 2, no doubt you have to add the bolters. But what happened in this game was just basically defense from Chaos. Chaos suffered, Space Marine was fighting in the Chaos base, so you cannot add bolters in that situation. There are cheaper options for defense. Build mines or a turret, faster upgrade on the LP2s. Bolters are not needed. Chaos hits tier 2, enables this rage on the Chaos Marines, but it's over now. You can't stop this Space Marine mass now. 2 heroes, Grey Knights, 2 squads of Space Marines. VelAn going for a Defiler. If Mixalich will add only missile launchers on the Space Marines, the Defiler won't be a threat. Look at the Space Marine squad. They do not have any weapon yet. And Mixalich could afford it much easier to add heavy weapons. He didn't. He saved resources for something more important first.
What is your order?
Land Speeder Tempest, also a good solution to fight the Defilers. You make 3-5 of them, and they will destroy all the Defilers one by one, easily. Defilers also have good damage to aircraft, but they have to also deal with the infantry in here. They can't really focus aircraft. Yeah, this is over for VelAn as expected. I didn't believe in his chaos. He almost lost with his main. He almost lost as Imperial guard because he floated too much. So I did not expect him to win this as chaos. Mixalich showing a solid game. He was one of the most active players back then, so quite easy, I'd say. He dominated. VelAn being the more experienced player back then, but experience is not enough if you're not playing weekly at least.
Scouts awaiting orders.
Chaos Predator also not worth it in tier 2. I think you only have to make them in tier 4 when you can add the less cannons. GG gets called by VelAn. Chaos Predators are too expensive for what they do, and Chaos has better options anyway. Hell Talons, Defilers. I would say, are better in most cases. And if you want to deal damage, make Chaos Marines with four bolters and fully upgraded on a Rhino. Somewhat close on units killed, but Space Marine dominated, full map control, didn't allow Chaos to even take one relic, was ahead in tech, ahead in economy, ahead in everything. Score evens up 1-1 now. An even more interesting pick now, VelAn decides to go Sisters of Battle. Well,
Here to serve.
what can I say? Sisters of Battle have no chance on Blood River against Space Marines.
Yes, Lord.
So,
I await your instructions.
Mixalich, if he loses, it's only his fault. Only if he makes a mistake, he can Sisters of Battle lose.
Scouts reporting for duty.
That will be Scout Rush, Scout Harass.
Scouts ready. Scouts
Not Harass,
awaiting
but
orders.
Rush.
Yes, my lord. Scouts reporting for duty. At your command.
2 scouts will go on
Scouts in position.
Harass. No, 3 scouts, so this will be maybe items to kill or delay economy on Sisters. 3 scouts will be a threat even for this Battle Sister squad. It doesn't have enough HP and damage to deal with the scouts easily enough. Who forced VelAn to play these races, I wonder? Who told him to play Sisters of Battle on Blood River against Space Marines? This squad almost lost morale. Yeah, this is Scout Rush. Feels like Mixalich is playing against Necrons here. You can do this build against Necrons and win the game in 1 minute.
Taking damage.
And if Necron is not prepared, he can't win.
Scouts ready. At your command. Scouts ready. Yes, my lord. Scouts in position. Position.
All in
secure.
from Mixalich.
Scouts awaiting orders. Scouts
Doing good damage for now, but since it's not a very common build from Mixalich, I'm not sure how often he did that against Sisters, so maybe VelAn can even make a comeback. 2 fast Battle Sister squads without generator will deal slowly with the Scout
at
Rush.
your command.
They will deal with the scouts, but very slowly. It might take some time until VelAn recovers anyway.
Taking damage.
And Mikhalich's economy is already higher. Holy Icon upgrade. You need that first Holy Icon as soon as possible. It's very cheap and will provide some faith income. You will be able to cast healing on the missionaries.
Taking damage.
LP2 upgrade on the river in front for Mixalich. In case VelAn goes on counter-attack from this side,
What is your will?
LP2 will nicely defend. 44-0 against 50-0. Well, VelAn is only slightly behind now,
Defending
and that might be a problem for Space Marines.
secured.
I await your instructions. I await
Might be
your
a problem because
instructions.
Space Marine doesn't have the barracks up yet. If VelAn will keep up with economy, he might even have chances to win. Also upgrades in LP2. VelAn desperately needs to finish up this listening post faster, add a generator, and perhaps go tier 2. Another mistake VelAn is doing is by going with 2 squads of Battle Sisters, running with 2 squads together. He had to keep one in here on this side and another one here to defend. No need to keep them close to each other. One squad of Battle Sister is more than enough to deal with 1 or 2 squads of Scouts, maybe even 3, when it's so much reinforced. Float again now. Must build generators, 2 or 3 of them.
The enemy is attacking.
Space Marines economy higher,
The enemy is
Defending
attacking.
objective.
92 to 10, and now with the Chapel barracks up, Mixalich will be ahead. With the Chapel barracks and sniper rifles to deal with the Battle Sisters, Mixalich would be ahead. What VelAn can do in this situation is go tier 2 into lightning fighters. Sisters of battle planes, they can melt down infantry easily. No need to invest in infantry, no need for the cannoneers. Snipers cannot do anything now in this Sisters of Battles base, so would have been much better if VelAn just went tier 2. He had to cancel the cannoneers and go tier 2. Against 5 lightning fighters, Space Marine infantry can't do anything, even if they have missile launchers. Lightning fighters would kill them too fast.
I await your instructions.
What Mixalich is doing here, we'll try to all in on tier 1 probably. Force Commander out, Space Marines on the way. Cannoneers is out, low economy for VelAn. Much lower economy. Looks like this missionary got deleted. I did not see any sniper focusing it.
Scouts in
Probably got deleted
6 minutes until taking hold.
by mistake. Cannoneers from the negative cover was shooting at the first commander for a long time and lost half HP. LP2 will go down, certainly, no way to defend it. Phosphor grenades research now for VelAn. Maybe this engagement will work. Well, might only work if Mixalich does not have frag grenades yet.
Under fire. The enemy is attacking. Returning to battle.
At your command.
Okay, LP2 got saved at the cost of many Battle Sisters and maybe Cannoneers. Cannoneers might get killed in here as well. She tanked a lot. First commander half HP down. Not as dead as the Cannoneers. He has to disattach the Cannoneers and try to burn the scouts with that Inferno pistol. Okay, Flamers did a good job, dropped morale on the Space Marines, and VelAn pushes Mixalich back now with a better economy, 92 to 30 against 92 to 20. So Space Marines economy decreased a bit because this got destroyed. And VelAn is slightly ahead in economy, but still with weaker infantry. VelAn cannot go on offense yet. On offensive, he has to defend under the LP2s.
We know our place.
Space Marines attack!
Father and guardian.
Maybe he should make more icons also for healing.
3 minutes until take and hold victory.
From the lighting and the tempest, Emperor, deliver us.
Has enough now to go tier 2. Economy is good. 104 will be 98 in a moment. He's really getting decapped. And goes tier 2. Almost at the same time. Mixalich clicks also on tier 2 button.
The Emperor, our father and guardian.
2 minutes until take and hold victory.
You down!
I am a servant to the
They
Emperor.
will never triumph.
Tier 2 will get taken hold gets cancelled. But one Battle Sister squad gets killed. Nicely caught in that corner.
Witchcraft, heresy, and mutation!
VelAn will make another squad, again float. Well, if you float so much, you could build an additional 2 generators. And when you hit tier 2, make the global upgrade ASAP. No need to float really. It's never good.
We are servants of the god Emperor.
Witchcraft, heresy, and mutation!
Good engagement here with the cannons again, kills a lot of Space Marines.
Heavy fire! To the rally point!
Sharp lane on the way and sacred artifact placed. Nice ability from the cannons. Now I like this one. It's actually a tier 1 ability, I believe. You only need enough faith to cast it. It blinds ranged squads. Works almost like solar pulse, but you have to get in range of enemy infantry in order to blind it. Now Holy Reliquary might have been a mistake. He had to make a Rhino. If you have so many Battle Sisters, you need a Rhino. Battle Sisters on Rhino with 5 bolters, even 3 bolters are a nightmare. Very high DPS and good mobility. Could have catched now all these Space Marines with a Rhino and maybe kill all of them. What a bad position. Despite the bad start, VelAn could have even won this if he did the right thing. Makes the Confessor.
I submit. I serve.
Infantry build usually doesn't work against Space Marines. Space Marines infantry is simply stronger. Good move with Chaplain into the Sisters. Almost got killed.
Victory countdown has begun.
Global upgrade research for VelAn.
Wars have we served the Emperor?
Mixalich has a good enough economy, he can afford both Sacred Artifact and Machine Cult.
The Ordo Malleus has sent us to aid you.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
Death Cult Assassin. Well, that's a good one, only if he doesn't get detected. The assassin can do some trouble.
I kill for the Emperor.
Nice damage, scouts get burned instantly. Frag grenade upgrade. Librarian on the way, so Librarian will be able to detect that assassin easily. VelAn will go in from this side by the look of it. He's got lots of infantry there. Well, if you make again so many battle sisters, why not research that Emperor's touch ability, I believe that's how it's called, for the battle sisters, or... Well, you can use it on the missionary, but you usually attach it to the battle sisters, so they will get that high DPS from the ability.
Our Emperor gives us strength.
Mixalich will ignore the battle sisters on the left and go towards his base. Forces VelAn to go back and defend. Only at the 15th minute, VelAn decides to make a manufactorum. All this time, the Confessor basically was useless. And the Confessor was a way more expensive option than the manufactorum. If he would have made the manufactorum 5 minutes ago, as soon as he hit tier 2, he'd probably win. I'm not even joking. Looks like the Confessor's smite failed. Oh no, it worked. But none of the Space Marines got killed by it. It was cast on the Grey Knights. 2 Rhinos out 7 minutes later. Can't really do anything now. At this point, the Space Marines, when they are fully upgraded, you cannot deal with them. You will need probably exorcists in order to deal with this infantry. Again, float. VelAn doesn't know what to do by the look of it. How can you float so much on such a low income? Three battle sister squads, no missionaries attached to them, no Emperor's word, the Emperor's touch ability. Goes tier 3, yeah, he has to, but still floating. Instead of making so many rhinos, could have added an immolator, upgrade the weapon and deal some damage to these Hellfire Dreadnoughts. Another smite goes in. Despite the floats, VelAn still manages to put up a good fight. Floating 1300 now. Painful to watch, but whatever. 95 to 79 economy on Mixalich. He's using all of his resources and abilities, trying his best to win this. feels like VelAn is playing from his bathroom on a laptop, sitting in his bath in the water and chilling. Okay, Exorcist on the way.
Taking heavy fire.
Mixalich still tier 2. Well, if only VelAn wouldn't lose most of his infantry here, maybe he'd even win after all that. Exorcist has to be saved. Why did he get out in front? He had to set the rally point here close to the HQ. Too easy to destroy it when it's like that. Exorcists have low HP, only 1600. Another smite cast. Man, what a fight. Despite all the floats on VelAn, he still showed a good game in here. This was a good game. I guess it was overextended by so long because of Mikhalich's starts. It wasn't very effective, to say the least. That scout all in can be too risky. If you don't deal enough damage with it, you might even lose. Well, Exorcist not enough now to stop all this. Still tier 2 from Space Marines. No float at all from Mikhalich. You can see this float on power, but he does not have requisition in order to invest that power. And that's GG. Two to 1 now for Mikhalich. Well done. Domination on military, kills much more units, and on resources, not so different. Mikhalich had more resources, but not a big difference. Fourth game on Fallen City. Mikhalich Space Marines versus VelAn Imperial Guard. Thankfully he's playing his main again. Two guardsmen this time in HQ, and a tech priest.
As you wish, so shall it be done.
The enemy attack at their
He wants to try turret rush in here, perhaps. This is a good place for a turret.
Scouts reporting.
We'll cover the area in here
Scouts here.
on both strategic points. So if it gets finished, Space Marine might be in trouble. Two scouts will not kill the tech priest in time,
As you wish.
because tech priest is a commander.
Marine spotted. Transmit their location.
Scouts in position.
Where is Mikhalich going with that scouts? Maybe wants to distract the command squad. Well, VelAn will go and decap this one.
I command in the name of the enemy.
Scouts here.
under fire.
Generator opening from Mikhalich also very risky. If your opponent does all in and if you open with a generator, you are dead.
Scouts awaiting orders.
VelAn has to mess up now big time in order to lose this. Adds a second heavy bolter turret. This is a bad sign. Expensive start from VelAn, a very low economy. Instead of keeping the command squad here, he had to send it on the other side and take his side of the map. The turret here and the guardsmen would be enough, more than enough. Also a tech priest to defend. General wasted too much time on this point, won't even go down.
You have chosen wisely. You have chosen wisely. It is my duty to serve.
44 to 10 economy on Imperial Guard, 62 to 10 for Mixalich, despite having seemingly less map control. Michalich's economy is higher. LP2 up, relic captured. Force commander though very low HP. Strip soul was cast. VelAn's economy still very low, he did not get this point. Very painful, maybe sending the guardsmen or making a third squad a bit faster would have worked. Force commander almost got killed by that turret. Strip soul also helped. Guardsmen now have to go and decap this relic. 74 to 10 economy on Michalich. If he cannot take his points, he will take the critical locations. This is one of those maps with most critical locations. 4 critical locations. Sometimes one of the players can get all of them even if one of them is in the enemy territory. Still possible to get it. Still lower economy on VelAn, the turret had to focus the force commander all this time. Very good turret, by the way. Builds also a minefield. VelAn still behind in economy, despite full map control almost. Only now his economy is somewhat okay and can compete with Michalich's one. Also, why the minefield? There's no threat at all for coming from the other side. Minefield definitely a waste. If the fight will happen mostly for this point, you better build a minefield here in this position.
It will only take me a moment.
86 to 20 economy now gets better slowly. 92 to 30 soon. What now VelAn needs is tactical control and one more squad of guardsmen. He has to make sure he can hold his map. He has to make sure he can hold this position, and turret must focus the force commander seriously. Why focus the space marines? That was a mistake. Force commander could have been dead by now. If he was focused all this time by the turret, he should have been dead. Another mistake from VelAn.
As you wish. So shall it be done.
What now?
I am on it.
Under fire.
Yes, my lord. Beware the alien.
LP2 focusing the wrong guys again, focusing the space marines. No focus on the force commander. The most important thing, you focus the force commander. If force commander dies, space marines retreat. Most of the damage gets from that plasma pistol. Weird mistakes from VelAn. I cannot explain why he's doing that. Maybe wants to give Michalich a chance.
So shall it be done.
Ghost tier 2 now.
Thank you, machine spirit, for our safe arrival.
Another minefield. So expensive tier 1 from VelAn.
Duty to serve.
So many turrets, so many minefields. Could have built the tactical control instead.
I am honored that you
And make some upgrades or add the grenades.
What are your orders? Let me inspire our men.
80 to 10 economy here for Mixalich, goes tier 2.
Defending objective.
The Emperor protects.
What is your order?
What would you have me do? If such is the Emperor's will, by the Emperor, you will have it. Take it, yes, sir.
These guardsmen cannot even try to fight those marines. They should have captured this critical location. And these guardsmen should have gotten this one. Or make an additional squad to get these 2 critical locations. If you hold them for a few minutes, they pay off.
The enemy is attacking. We stand ready.
Look out! Here they come! It is my duty to serve.
Tier 2 up for VelAn, again he's floating 500. Hopefully the float will be dealt with quick, can place a big generator and mechanized command.
By the Emperor, you will have it.
Tier 2 about to go up soon, also for Mixalich.
We stand ready. Heads.
I await your instructions.
Up now. Places a turret here, 74 to 20 economy on Mixalich though. Trying to path these guardsmen with turrets. Slowly delaying their retreat and killing a few more of them while they retreat. Well, VelAn is far ahead at this point. Only if he wouldn't float. Maybe he can win if he doesn't float. Mechanized command could have been placed 1 minute ago. Gets placed now. Alright, better than nothing. Both global upgrades research also. So Imperial Guard's economy will be much higher. Will VelAn have good enough management on his squads to deal with those space marines? We'll find out.
Fear denies faith.
It will only take me a moment.
What would you have me do?
Again float. Oh man.
Let me preach his name.
Instead of floating like that, maybe go tier 3. Seriously. Nothing is happening in the game and look at the float. What is VelAn so busy with that he is floating so much? Can someone explain? What is he busy with, floating so much? Almost 900 requisition and 600 power. How? How is this even possible?
What are your orders?
Taking damage.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperial. Where's our fire support?
Tier 3 on the way, obviously. Had to be clicked. A basilisk will be made. Again float. 900. 800 to 300. Looks like VelAn wants to make it a challenge and try to win with huge floats. If he manages to win this round, I'd be surprised. Probably he might have been in his worst shape at this point or what. I can't explain. 1000 float to 600. Hello. What VelAn now can do is build a field command in the enemy base. That would be funny. Or maybe place it here and block the way for Mixalich. He shall not pass to the other side. Mixalich is suffering even against that. He suffers, he had a bad start, had to sit on 3 points for a long time. Now sees that VelAn is tier 3. The float is still going up strong. 1600 float for VelAn. He could have built another field command and go tier 4 in one of them, and from the other one make units, vehicles.
Let me inspire our men. Awaiting instructions.
2000 float now. I guess it's probably the highest float I see in a competitive match. 2000 float.
Such is the Emperor's will.
Screenshot this.
Let me inspire our men.
It will only take me a moment.
No tier 4 being clicked yet. VelAn is confused, he doesn't know what to do probably. Nothing is happening, by the way.
6 minutes until
Okay, he orders tier 4 after the sentinel.
The best you've got. You have chosen
Good thing
the Emperor's will.
he did that. Priests being a pain there, harassing. Mixalich also started floating, but I guess he's about to give up. He realizes he has no chances now. Also a good minefield in there helped destroying that rhino. And that's it. GG. Well played early game by VelAn, but still did many terrible mistakes. Didn't focus the commander with the turret, didn't focus it with the LP2. Very expensive tier 1. These mines still weren't touched at all by the enemy infantry. Worthless investment. Score now 2-2. One last game left. Imperial Guard versus Space Marines on Shrine of Excellion. Fast Tech Priest from VelAn.
As you wish, so shall it be done. I hear the machine spirit's voice. It will only take me a moment.
Yes, Lord.
And from Mixalich, 3 scouts. Space Marines and Force Commander.
Scouts awaiting
I
orders.
await your instructions.
It will only take me a moment.
Present and account.
Nice turret in here. Mixalich doesn't see it yet. I guess he won't see it for a long time.
At your command, area secured.
His scouts completely on another side, so
Position
lucky for VelAn. If scouts would have captured this side, they would have seen the turret.
Spirit's voice.
Nice guesswork.
Position secure. Scouts ready.
Okay, now he sees the turret. What Mixalich can do in this case is go on this side and try to take these points. Or maybe even this side.
Area is secure.
This side would be better though. Ignore the turret and go on the enemy side.
Ever vigilant.
It would be wise to do that.
Objective
This
secured.
point won't be possible to take, but maybe this one with the scouts.
On your guard, Marines. Where's our fire support?
Both times VelAn started with turret 2 times in a row.
It will only take me a moment.
Let me inspire our men. It's easy. Holding them will be hard.
Turret here should have focused again the Force Commander
What would you
and the General. By the time the General get here, Force Commander would be low enough on HP to maybe even kill him.
sir? Yes, sir.
focus heroes and squad sergeants, squad leaders with the turrets and LP2s most of the time. If you don't see heroes or squad leaders, focus the model which has the heavy weapon assigned to it. Scout here wouldn't be able to decap. Even if they tried, they'd probably get killed by the guardsmen. Mixalich goes in again, turret does not focus the force commander. Focuses on the space marines. This is a mistake, probably unforgivable. It may be unforgivable in this case. If only VelAn would have focused the force commander all this time with a turret, he'd be dead by now, I'm not even joking. The stripped soul would have killed the force commander at this very moment. Huge mistake from VelAn, what can I say? And floats 350 requisition again, loses the guardsmen, bad movement with them.
Capturing it was easy. Holding it will be hard. Let me inspire our men.
86 to 10 economy. Upgrades the listening post, makes more guardsmen. Only has 2 squads of guardsmen, that's not good.
We're under fire.
1 shrine of Excellion. Oh, what's this movement with the command squad? Seriously. Both general and psych are getting killed. Too many mistakes now from VelAn, he probably lost this. I would bet on Mixalich from this point onward, because VelAn simply did too many mistakes. I guess Mixalich is playing better, and he will deserve this win. He simply plays better in this game.
Scouts in position.
We stand ready.
The Emperor protects.
Here to serve.
Got all of his points now, upgrades an LP2 and builds 3 generators. All the time guardsmen are in a bad position, not good for fights. Mixalich drops turrets trying to path them, delay their retreat again, and kill as many of them as possible. Not everything is lost yet. Looking at VelAn's floats, maybe he can even win after all those mistakes. Well, he won with 2000 float almost for the last 7 minutes in the previous game. VelAn floated over 1000 non-stop. Maybe he can even win after these mistakes in this game as well. We'll find out. Goes tier 2. Mixalich is ahead though with tech.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
No tier 2 yet here.
It will only take me a moment.
If such is the Emperor's will. What is your wish?
Grenades are being added on the guardsmen. No command squad though, has to be very careful with the guardsmen. One good engagement from the Space Marines with frag grenades into these guardsmen could win the game, so without the command squad it's risky to go in, have to play very safe. Tier 2 up. Maybe chaplain will be made, that's right.
Scouts here.
Plasma pistol, no bionics yet for the Space Marines.
Today the enemy.
Other upgrades have priority. Usually you'd make the damage dealing upgrades and then switch to the defensive ones. Especially if you play a race which has good range. In the case with Imperial Guard, most of the time you make optics upgrade, heavy weapon upgrade, and only after that you make the armor upgrade.
Where is his will needed?
Since guardsmen get a boost also from priests on HP, I guess, and speed, you can keep the range and keep
Left, right, left.
the guardsmen alive.
What are your orders? I am the Emperor.
You don't even need armor
Awaiting orders.
if you can keep the range.
The enemy is attacking.
VelAn, however, is playing safe, so goes for armor first. Heavy weapon team out has to be upgraded to less cannon in case of vehicles. Will be necessary as anti-vehicle, and maybe also build a turret somewhere and upgrade it. Mixalich again does not want to fight guardsmen in a face-to-face combat, he goes on counter-harass. Good decision. No heavy weapons yet added to the Space Marines. Optics were made. By the way, on the Space Marines, if you do not make the bionics, you cannot make the optics upgrade, so you have no other choice but make those armor upgrades as well. No close combat weapon upgrade yet. A shame. Has enough resources. Builds the machine cult. Upgrades another LP2 because this one will go down.
My powers, my knowledge is at your disposal.
Inspiring aura research for the force commander. Good ability.
My devotion is assured.
What does it provide though? I never really paid attention. Damage bonus. Nice one. And it's a passive ability. You don't have to cast it. It will be always active. Chaos Lord also has a similar ability which can be researched in that circle. Forgot how it's called. Tier 2 building.
We'll walk now. Here on, we march. Taking hits. Setting up. Let me inspire our men. Let me inspire our men.
Good army from VelAn but low economy. Can he win this fight? Focus now is on the force commander from the heavy weapon team. Thanks to the chaplain, it's very difficult to kill the force commander. He got that healing buff from the Choppy. Well, if the Choppy gets killed, VelAn might be able to win. Some weird pathing caused by the chimeras here, very unfortunate. Again, as soon as the battle begins, VelAn is floating. Too much float again. Economy much higher for Mixalich. But economy does not mean everything. If VelAn manages to kill all these infantry, Space Marine can lose, even if they have higher economy. They won't have enough time and resources to recover anyway. Well, I guess Mixalich won't allow VelAn to kill him. There's also a Dreadnought on the other side doing some counter-attack, counter-harass, disturbing VelAn. No proper anti-vehicle to deal and stop the Dreadnought, no Psychers to stun, no command squad was made after it got killed. And looks like Mixalich is winning this, thanks to VelAn's mistakes mostly, I would say. Too many Imperial Guard mistakes early game. Despite all that, VelAn still manages to show a good game, and respect for that. Despite all the mistakes, despite all the floats, he's still fighting, he's still alive. Tier 3 on the way from mixalich. A much more solid game from mixalich, I must say. No float almost. No mistakes. No critical mistakes noticed on the Space Marine side. He basically is playing his best, I'm assuming. Goes tier 3. Dreadnoughts are good. One sentinel not enough to deal with dreadnoughts. One dreadnought can destroy a sentinel easily in close combat also.
We must pray for forgiveness.
38 to 40 economy for VelAn. Desperate situation. That's about it. That's about the end of it. The end of VelAn. Well, 3 to 2 is not a bad result, considering the inactivity, considering the floats and all those mistakes. As I've been saying constantly during this round, this might have been probably the worst shape for VelAn.
You have chosen.
Thank you, machine spirit, for our safe arrival.
In his best shape, I believe he would show a much better game.
Under fire.
Maybe we will even see some of his better games on this channel in the future, as I am planning to do more vanilla Dawn of War videos, Winter Assault. I will cast lots of those replays.
As you wish. So
I guess I will do longer videos on them though, maybe even stream on this channel, we'll see.
It'll only take me a moment.
We're under fire.
A monthly stream perhaps on older replays would be a good idea, but I'd like to hear your feedback. If you're interested to see replays from the older players, from Vanilla Dawn of War, Winter Assault and Dark Crusade. Tier 3 here for mixalich activates the Librarian's ability. Invincible Space Marines now, Immortal, and also the Orbital cast on the HQ. No mercy shown from mixalich
6 minutes until
towards the inactive player. Still trying his best here in the very end. Maybe he still even thinks VelAn might have a chance to win.
Faith is purest when it is unquestioned. The mutant.
Knowledge is power.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperial. By the Emperor's knowledge is power. He who stands with you shall be my brother. Please, because you were all weak.
Impossible to stop the Space Marine mass now. It's time to say GG. VelAn is dying like a hero today. Maybe his last round in this season of face-to-face. I believe he stopped playing Dawn of War after this season, and then he came back when Dawn of War Soulstorm transitioned to Steam. He came back for a short period of time, but then stopped again. Well, if you make huge period of inactivity, like 4 or 5 years, it's almost impossible to recover your previous shape. I was inactive 2 years, 2017 to 2019, almost didn't play at all, and after playing for months, I'm still not recovered at full yet. It's very difficult to recover after inactivity, at least in my case. 100 games not enough, 200 not enough, maybe 1000 played within a short time frame would be enough. Well, Mixalich wins the round 3-2. Congratulations, and advances to the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed the round. Leave your feedback below the video as always. Your feedback is always appreciated. If you are new and enjoy the content, you may subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching.